If there's nothing pressing, let's take a walk.
What does that mean? It's just a picture. Are we supposed to meet someone there? It's like one of those messages a kidnapper sends in a horror movie.
That's enough of that. Come on, let's go.
Hurry up, Qingque. We'll be fossils by the time you're finished.
I heard there was a disaster in the Divination Commission's delve? I'm surprised you're in the mood to play right now, Qingque.
Even if the sky was gonna collapse on the Divination Commission, the Master Diviner would be there to hold it up. What she lacks in height, she more than makes up for in stamina. Anyway, I didn't come here just to play. She ordered me to wait here for our guests. Time is precious. I'm simply multitasking.
It's the place in the photo, all right. Is this a games parlor? What kind of problem can they possibly be facing?
Isn't this hand a problem? I have the worst luck. Oh, hi there! I can tell just by looking at you that you're the Divination Commission's guests. I know, I'm sorry. I was going to wait for you by the statue, but... Ah! Triplet! But folks from the Realm Keeping Commission descended on the area. It's too loud over there now. Pass! Pass! So I thought to myself, wouldn't it be better to meet somewhere quieter? More of a kind! And wouldn't that be more fun, too? Better to show you the real Exalting Sanctum and introduce you to a true Xianzhou pastime, Celestial Jade! Aha! Victory! Now that my wish has been fulfilled, there's nothing holding us back. Follow me, honored guests. I must apologize for your long wait, honored guests.
It wasn't too long. Seeing your enthusiasm for this Celestial Jade game has stoked my curiosity.
I'm glad to hear it. You clearly have excellent taste. If you're interested.
Ah, look. Is that
It's an ancient tree. We call it the Ambrosial Arbor. It was once the Xianzhou Luofu's prized treasure.
I didn't know the Skyfaring Commission were history buffs. Not bad. Younger generations usually don't know much about it. It's said that the Ambrosial Arbor is an ancient remnant from when the Xianzhou roamed the ether. From a distance, it looks like half a tree stump. But according to records of the early nation, in its prime, it wound into the heavens and from it celestial bodies hung.
meaning?
It means the tree was as tall as the sky and stars hung from its branches.
So, how big was it? Bigger than the Express? Bigger than Herta Space Station? No, that can't be right. Stars hung from its branches. Then, how did it fit in the Xianzhou?
Those are metaphors. You shouldn't take poetry so literally. Anyway, it's just a legend. I see this view every day on my way to work. I'm kind of bored of it. Let's go.
Need your extractor cleaned or your star skips?
We're almost there, everyone. Stay close. Just a heads up, please don't go running off once we're inside. You may be the Master Diviner's guests, but she hates people who don't abide by rules and regulations. Oh, and people who ask too many questions, not to mention... Please, don't push her buttons.
We're just here for the questioning. We'll leave as soon as it's over.
Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Nap time. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
We shall take back what we lost. There's always a... Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Nap time. Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. We shall take back what we lost.
So strange.
Oh, let me guess. The gate isn't.
I don't understand. It's never been locked before. Hey, I know the food here sucks, but that's no reason to shut the...
Are you really from the
No way. She's already demoted me to managing the repository. There's no need to panic, okay? This isn't the only entrance. Here it is.
You seem familiar.
Ugh, Stellaron corrosion. Great. This gate won't open either. We've kept the Master Diviner waiting.
I knew I'd offended that diviner.
Miss Qingqi, if you don't...
Huh? Oh, no need. Let me show you. This thing is pretty... Wow, you're amazing, Mr. Yang. You handled that well for an outsider. I officially hand over the title of Keeper of the Loafing Gate to you.
Anyone here surprised? Anyone?
Here comes trouble.
Can't we run around? You'll pay for this. Lend me your strength.
That'll take more than medicine. Now.
Lance at the ready.
This battle is unavoidable.
Enemy data net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
To guard and defend! Crush them!
Lance, forward!
Nap time. Lend me your strength. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. To guard and defend. Crush them. Nap time. I'm okay. Lend me your strength.
Lance forward!
We shall take back what we lost.
I'm sorry, the Cloud Knights have...
No,
That's unfair. I'm working.
a rare.
Are you...
If you want to see the Master they're short of hands.
This is the Matrix of Prescience, a large-scale Jade Abacus calculation terminal. It's the pride and joy of the Divination Commission.
We've heard the term Jade Abacus a few times now. Would you mind explaining what it is, Miss Qingque?
A Jade Abacus is just... a Jade Abacus. That's a good question, Mr. Yang. It might take me a minute to give you an answer. Let me think. The book, Glimpses into the Beyond, describes it as living jade engraved with symbols for divination into the unknown. Just like engraving a seal, the craftsmen of the Xianzhou Artisanship Commission carve faint symbols into pieces of jade and then insert them into machines to get them to operate according to a certain intention. Some jade abacuses are small enough to fit inside bracelets and jewelry. We put the bigger ones into instruments of calculation, so we can simulate the future and learn from the past. Take the Matrix of Prescience here as an example. As long as sufficient information is provided, it can answer questions on anything, from the evolution of natural phenomena to the metabolism of living things. They say the theory behind the symbols was handed down by Noose, the Wisdom Walker. The principles are so profound that in the Divination Commission, only the Master Diviner truly understands them.
Seems like it, but Jade Abacus does sound a lot better. Besides, ordinary computers don't have cool backstories. Technology handed down from Noose. Huh. Even in Madame Herta's space station, I never saw anything related to Noose.
Anyway, don't dwell on names. As long as the machine works, what does it matter whether it's a jade abacus or a computer? Just like today, would it have mattered if Baichue had brought you here instead of Qingque? It makes no difference at all. We're almost at the Matrix of Prescience core. The Master Diviner should be waiting.
Diviner Fu, how are things progressing?
We're fluctuating between the Heaven and Thunder trigrams. A step forward bridges no distance hence.
And for those who don't speak Fu Shen?
It's an utter disaster. How's that for a Divination Commission fortune? The Matrix of Prescience has stopped operating, and the symbols have dimmed. There are Stellaron spirits wreaking havoc inside the Commission, and the Cloud Knights are struggling to protect civilians. I want to restore the Matrix of Prescience, but I have no forces available. And on top of all of that, General, we still have to deal with the Stellaron Hunter you handed to us. If that's not an utter disaster, then I don't know what is.
But you're Fu Shen, the seer. The boundless, omniscient. Bringing luck and avoiding misfortune is your strong suit, isn't it?
You don't need to flatter me, General. It's natural for fortune to fluctuate. There's no escaping it. The Divination Commission simply does its best to uncover the good and the bad and then make the right decisions. We have no magical means to turn the tide.
And that is precisely why we need you in charge. When it comes to handling clairvoyant Stellaron hunters, who better than Fu Shen the Seer? As for reinforcements, you didn't think I'd be unprepared, did you? Look, help has just arrived.
Master Diviner, I brought you the guests. Though, it wasn't your order I received. So, General, even guests are on the payroll these days?
Well, since they're here already, I may as well make use of them.
Entering the Matrix of Prescience without my permission is a breach of protocol. Would be an ungracious thing to say in the present circumstances. I admit I'm pleasantly surprised to see you here. Qingque is often unreliable, but she comes through for us when the need arises. I was waiting for the Matrix of Prescience to resume operations so that you might gain insight into my divination techniques. It was rude of me to keep you waiting so long.
No need for the formalities. We heard what the General said. If you need something from us, just say the word.
Very well, then I'll keep this brief. The Divination Commission is currently understaffed. I need your help to restart the Matrix of Prescience's space terminals. And eliminate the Stellaron spirits along the way. Yes, but you needn't worry. You have my permission. Qingque will accompany you. She'll be in charge of restarting the terminal. As for eliminating the spirits... Psst.
I hath divined our future. We are destined to be errand runners. Forever.
What? Which magic word?
The universal one? Please?
Oh. Please.
Good enough.
It's been a while, my astral guests. Thanks to you, the Lawfu has successfully brought Kafka to justice. I am truly grateful. There hadn't been a single Stellaron hunter arrest since the Inter-Astral Peace Corporation issued their bounty. This is a victory for the Xianzhou. Once this is over and the Stellaron curse has been lifted, the Xianzhou will have no more use for Kafka. If you wish to claim the bounty, feel free to take her to the IPC. The Alliance has no interest in the IPC's reward. Blade, on the other hand, is a wanted criminal for the Xianzhou. He must remain with us. At present, Kafka has no intention of speaking, and the Stellaron hunter's motives remain unknown. We must rely on the power of the Divination Commission to unearth the truth.
Unearth the truth? You mean interrogate Kafka with the Matrix of Prescience?
Precisely. The Matrix of Prescience is the Divination Commission's ultimate weapon. It was originally used to calculate navigation routes and predict future events. But the secrets of the Stellaron hunters cannot remain hidden any longer. I have no choice but to move beyond conventional protocol. We must use divination to ascertain Kafka's intent. Everything hinges on restoring the Matrix of Prescience, which is why I would like you to help Diviner Fu complete the setup. I am eternally grateful for your assistance.
Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Nap time. Ample supplies. Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. To guard and defend. Crush them. Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
Not a scratch. Lance forward!
Lend me your strength. Nap time.
Not a scratch.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
Lance forward!
I'm okay. Ample supplies. Lend me your strength. Nap time. To guard and defend. Crush them. Lend me your strength. We shall take back what we lost. Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Nap time. Lend me your strength.
Lance forward!
We shall take back what we lost.
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them.
Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
Okay. Just a little something. Think nothing of it. I'm okay. Trouble.
Lance forward!
Lend me your strength.
Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
Nap time. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
To guard and defend. Crush them.
I'm okay.
Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
Lend me your strength.
Lance forward!
I'm okay. Nap time.
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them.
Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
Ample supplies. Ample supplies.
Lend me your strength. Nap time. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. That's better. That was troublesome. The enemy situation has changed. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Lance forward!
Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Troublesome. Nap time. Lend me your strength.
Lance forward!
Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Just a little something. Think nothing of it. To guard and defend. Crush them. Nap time. Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Troublesome.
Lance forward!
Just a little something. Think nothing of it. Lend me your strength. Nap time. To guard and defend. Crush them. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
supplies.
Let me see. This is the temporal terminal. Observes the potential of the temporal plane. They say this terminal is designed to retrieve information related to time. Lend me your strength. Nap time.
Lance forward!
To guard and defend. Crush them. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Lend me your strength. Nap time. Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. We shall take back what we lost. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend.
Crush them!
Nap time.
Lance forward!
We shall take back what we lost. The design is exquisite. Ample supplies. Lend me your strength. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Nap time. That should do it.
What? You just matched up those symbols.
The more complex something is,
If it's so simple, why didn't your
maybe deep down she just...
What the heck is this? It looks like a walking gate.
Take it easy. There's nothing supernatural on the Xianzhou. It's an Arumaton. It's guarding the Matrix of Prescience. They're stationed at various strategic places.
I feel like it needs a sign saying mortals forbidden or something. Are you sure it won't fly into a rage if we walk past it?
We're here by order of the Master Diviner to restart the Matrix of Prescience. Friends, not foes.
Passage prohibited.
March! You should join the Divination Commission. Quick, do something!
Time to change tactics. Lend me your strength. Commencing support. We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them.
I'm on guard.
This battle is unavoidable. Time for a shot. Now,
Lance at the ready.
you'll pay for this.
Not a threat.
Enemy targets detected.
Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
This battle is unavoidable. Lend me your strength. Commencing support.
I'm on guard. Lance ablaze. Lance forward!
You'll pay for this. Lend me your strength. We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them. Enemy data secured.
Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
Nap time. just a little something. Think nothing of it. Thanks for the support. This battle is unavoidable.
This must be the spatial terminal. They say this terminal is designed to retrieve information related to space. You probably could have guessed that. Done. Next.
Let me guess. Time, space. I bet the next terminal is energy related.
Darn, the Karma Terminal. They say this terminal is designed to establish causal relationships. We did it. All 3 terminals activated. Let's go back to the core and report to the Master Diviner. Well done, all of you now, to interrogate Kafka. Those of you in the core may feel a few impacts. Are you ready?
Is this really necessary? I said I'd cooperate with you.
I have no interest in the words of wanted criminals, especially those skilled in the art of manipulation. So, say what you will. I'm here to witness the divination of the Matrix of Prescience. The Divination Commission has ways of extracting the truth, and they're far more effective than a conversation.
Then please, Master Diviner, witness my destiny.
That's why you're here? All for that?
Well, not what you were expecting.
I can't believe it. But the Matrix of Prescience cannot be wrong. Kafka has nothing to do with the Stellaron, but you... It's you. Ha! Absurd. I'd never have thought it. Ask her yourself. Take as long as you wish. I must report this to the General immediately. Please excuse me.
You go ask her. I know you still have many questions for Kafka yourself. If there are questions, then go. We'll...
You go. Be careful, though. Huh.
Hi. You haven't changed a bit. I'm sorry you have to see me in such a sorry state. Really? Well, that's good. I wouldn't want to affect your image of me. I didn't talk to you on the train because I knew you and I would get to talk alone here. Worth waiting for, don't you think? You seem to have a lot to ask me. Elio said he foresaw 3 questions, but they would be the same in essence. If I were to hear one of them, I would then tell you the objective of this trip in all its detail. Since you asked one of the 3 questions, it means everything is going smoothly. Are you ready to hear my answer? Xianzhou's Stellaron problem is not directly linked to us. But if you look at it from Elio's perspective, you can't say the Stellaron hunters are completely innocent. We foresaw all this long ago, but chose to remain indifferent until the time was right for us to get involved. Diviner Fu was surprised because she discovered 3 truths. 1, the Stellaron hunters are not enemies of the Xianzhou. You know this now, though you refuse to believe it. 2, someone else brought the Stellaron into the Xianzhou and activated it. A result of both internal unrest and external aggression. Traitors on the Luofu and enemies from outside want to overthrow the Xianzhou. The Master Diviner is in a hurry to find the General, presumably to inform him of this fact. However, that's all the Master Diviner knows, because Elio withheld key pieces of information from me. He foresaw the Divination Commission using the Matrix of Prescience against me. To guard against setbacks, he ensured that I knew only what he wanted the Xianzhou Alliance to know in this moment. As for number 3, even in their wildest dreams, the Xianzhou Alliance could never have guessed it. If the Stellaron Hunters aren't the cause of all this, then why are Blady and I even here? We're here for you. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? It's no wonder Fu Shen doesn't believe it either. But the Matrix of Prescience doesn't lie. The answer is just that bizarre. The Stellaron Hunters appearing here, Blady getting arrested, me being lured to the Matrix of Prescience. It was all to bring you, the Astral Express crew, to the Xianzhou. In the future that Elio chose, the power of the hunt is indispensable. And that's why the Astral Express crew had to come to the Luofu and achieve something important for the Xianzhou. You had to establish a connection with the Alliance. And that's why I had to trick you into coming here. I needed you to meet the Luofu's general in person and help him resolve the Stellaron crisis. I needed the Alliance to owe you a favor. That way, in the future, at the most critical moment, the Xianzhou will offer you their help. What do you think? Surprised? The notorious Stellaron Hunters did all that just to make you a hero of the Xianzhou? Quite the plot twist, don't you think? Like I said, Elio withheld key pieces of information from me. The future holds endless possibilities. Knowing the right thing at the wrong time could spoil all our hard work. There is only one thing I can tell you about the future. In the best and the worst cases, you will eventually have to face Nanook the Destruction. And when that time comes, you will need all the help you can get. It will be a brutal struggle of Aeonic proportions. Proportions that neither you, nor I, nor the Astral Express will ever be able to reach. In the vast majority of futures, that's when destiny ends. But if we follow Elio's plan, there may be a glimmer of hope on the horizon. You know, even eons can be killed.
Hey, Luocha. You didn't finish telling us about the propagation. Keep going, it's interesting. So, eons can die, huh? Weird. I thought they were invincible.
There is no true invincibility or immortality in the world. Such exaggerations are born of the perspectives of ordinary beings. Nonetheless, ordinary beings could not have orchestrated the fall of the propagation. That eon was slain at the hands of another eon.
I don't understand. They're all eons. Why do they want to fight?
Are you really from the Xianzhou? Other eons aside, surely you must know the story of Lan and Yaoshe. Isn't destroying the Eon Yaoshe the Alliance's cherished aim?
Of course I know. Well, I know a little. My mom made me practice with swords all day. I didn't really go to school.
In that case, let's just change the subject. If you don't know about the feud between the Hunt and the Abundance, I'm afraid there's just too much to explain.
Fine. How's this for a subject? What's in the box?
Oh, this one? It's a casket, more commonly known as a coffin. It's for containing the remains of the deceased.
The deceased? Aren't you a merchant?
Yes, indeed. This is just part of my job. I was asked to deliver this coffin to the Xianzhou. I'd quite forgotten. For long life species, death is probably a distant concept.
Nope. The Cloud Knights spend a lot of time on the battlefield. Death is a common occurrence. It's just, we don't put bodies in boxes? Coffins. In the Xianzhou, people go to the Hall of Karma in the Ten Lords Commission and consecrate the names and jade abacuses of the dead. It's our way of saying goodbye. The Foxians and the Vidyadhara have their own ceremonies. Foxian soldiers place their dead in star skiffs and then let them drift out into the stars. They call it the returning. As for the Vidyadhara, they're more mysterious. They say that when a Vidyadhara is very old or has a fatal injury, they turn into an egg that looks like a pearl. When the shell breaks, they come out looking young again. My mom calls the Vidyadhara long scions. When I was young, she told me stories of how the Vidyadhara could turn into dragons. I don't know if that's true. What do you know? Silent but deadly speaks.
Your mother is right. The Vidyadhara are long scions. They are descendants of the Eon of Permanence. That was why some, but not all, could turn into dragons. The power was a rare inheritance, passed down only to those who could successfully complete numerous rites and challenges. For the inheritor, it was hard to say whether it was a blessing or a curse.
I've heard the story of Long the Permanence and their descendants. Many myths and legends praise the Eon for a rich and immortal life. But for some reason, the Eon disappeared among the stars without a trace. Almost as if they had never existed, leaving only their descendants. Every life has its limit. Even the Eons are not truly immortal and will eventually reach the end of their lives.
Let me ask you one more question. Do you know the person in the coffin?
Yes.
A friend?
No.
So, a sweetheart?
Miss, whatever gave you that impression? The individual in the coffin is neither friend nor relative. We met only once. By chance, I made someone a promise, and so I have to run this errand. Let's leave it at that, shall we? I think we've all had enough rest.
Was that the wind?
Bloom.
Dodge this! Rise, Venus! You're not going anywhere!
The dead return!
Mara struck.
It looks like someone's hurt.
Wait. Let's think before we act.
Silent but deadly. Locha, let's charge in together. If we take them out quickly, we can rescue the girl.
What happened to us letting you handle it?
I've only got 2 hands. Please, I'll wangle you a prize for your bravery or something when it's all over.
Enough. Let's go.
The sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
Receive divinity.
Dodge this! Rise, Venus! You're not going anywhere!
Miss, are you okay?
What do you think?
Sorry, I didn't see any blood, so I thought you were okay. You're a puppet.
My motor is broken. I can't move. Are you a Cloud Knight? Good. Take me to the Realm Keeping Commission.
Locha, silent but deadly. I'm afraid we have to delay things again. This lady is one of the judges of the Ten Lords Commission. As a Cloud Knight, I must prioritize her orders. I'm sorry. If I'd known, I wouldn't have got you to come with me. You'd probably be there by now if you'd gone by yourself.
I happen to have some medical knowledge. Perhaps I can treat the young lady's injuries?
Well, it's just... she's a puppet. I think we should just take her to the Realm Keeping Commission.
Don't worry, Miss Sushang. Leave it to me. You might get an aching or numbing sensation, but it shouldn't be too painful. Do you think you can hold still?
It won't work. My body is mechanical, not flesh and blood.
Be it mechanical or organic, we're still dealing with composite substances. I just hope you'll tolerate my methods.
Huh. Curious.
How... oh, what kind of medical knowledge is this?
Abundance.
Very good. We, no longer need to return to the Realm Keeping Commission. The mission continues. As a judge in the employ of the Ten Lords Commission, I am forbidden from interfering in the affairs of outsiders. However, seeing as you came to my aid, a word of advice. Leave as soon as possible. I came to address the root of our crisis by arresting a fugitive, a Stellaron hunter. This villain possesses exceptional swordsmanship and wields a divine weapon. They are extremely dangerous. If it hadn't been for a strange accident, my wingspan might have been cut short.
Strange accident?
Come with me. never seen anything like it.
You know, even Eons can be killed. Are you kidding? That's not what we want. I just want to tell stories from the past. Stories about Eons that have fallen. Lon the Permanence, Drilla the Beauty, Anna the Order, Tazeronth the Propagation, Akivili the Trailblaze. These names were once known all over the universe. And now they've all but disappeared, leaving behind only masterless paths. And currently, there are 3 ways an Eon can perish known to humanity. 1. Paths with overlapping concepts will eventually collide, and the broader path will engulf the narrower one. That's how Enna the Order was assimilated by Xipe the Harmony. 2. In a war between Eons, the stronger side will annihilate the weaker one. That's how Tazeronth the Propagation fell. Under the guidance of the Hunt, the Xianzhou Alliance travels the universe exterminating abominations cultivated by the Abundance. So, the Xianzhou too are engaged in this process. As far as I know, the predecessors of the Alliance were the Elixir Seekers. They searched for Yaoshi and longed for the blessing of immortality. When they eventually found the Eon, they received a blessing that did indeed prevent death, the Ambrosial Arbor. But immortality turned out to be a curse for the Xianzhou. That's when the Hunt appeared, firing an arrow and felling the Ambrosial Arbor. Ever since, the Alliance has followed the Hunt in pursuit of Yaoshi, erasing the curse of immortality from the universe along the way. What do you think? Fascinating stories, no? They're the kind of stories that folks on the straight and narrow would never tell you. Hold on. Any minute now. It's begun. Let's go, Bladey. 2 more places to visit.
Did Kafka escape? How are we gonna explain this to the Master Diviner?
If what she said is true, we won't have to explain anything.
Hey, did she brainwash you? Wasn't this the dead tree Qingque showed us earlier? How did it grow all of a sudden?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Even the long-lived might not witness something like this in their lifetime. I'm so lucky.
Such extraordinary energy. It's the Stellaron.
Mr. Yang, do you mean the Stellaron is making the Ambrosial Arbor grow?
Yes, the Stellaron the Cloud Knights are searching for must be causing this anomaly.
Looks good.
Lend me your strength. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. To guard and defend. Crush them. Now.
Forward!
Lend me your strength.
Reach the end of the story in your own way. Looks good.
Was that the wind?
Looks good.
Unless Kafka deceived the Matrix of Prescience.
Stay calm, Diviner Fu. The Matrix of Prescience does not lie. The logic you have laid out concerning Kafka makes sense. It has helped me to fill in another piece of the puzzle. I agree there is a hostile external force at work on the Luofu. The Stellaron didn't appear out of thin air. Someone managed to sneak it onto the ship. As for the culprits behind the Luofu's internal strife, I believe we are dealing with the so-called Disciples of Sanctus Medicus. That shadowy organization of the denizens of abundance. Kafka's revelations confirm my suspicions.
General, when did you have these suspicions?
The moment the planter of the Stellaron revealed himself. The Xianzhou has the blessing of the Rainbow Arbiter, and only another Aeon Emanator would be capable of sneaking onto this ship without my knowing. We are dealing with an external threat. The Stellaron corrosion continues to flood into the ship, and yet it bypassed both the seat of divine foresight and the shackling prison. There is forethought here. Our enemy must have had access to Luofu intelligence for things to unfold in this way. It is evident now. The Stellaron hunters aren't the ones behind the curtain. No. As soon as I set eyes on Blade, it was clear to me. But why is he here? And why did he draw the Astral Express? That piece of the puzzle still eludes me. Nevertheless, Lady Fu, your intel means the puzzle is more complete than it was before. These Stellaron hunters are a captivating group. Such lengths to get the Xianzhou and the Express onto the same track. Who would have believed it?
General, we must retain all urgency. The Ambrosial Arbor.
It's the Stellaron. No need to search high and low. The traders have planted it in the Ambrosial Arbor's delve, thereby causing the tree to grow once again. The Disciples of Sanctus Medicus couldn't hold off any longer.
Every crisis is a turning point. A problem is easier to resolve when you know where it lies. Am I coming up with a plan again?
Of course. I'm sure you have a countermeasure at the ready, Master Diviner.
From my perspective, convening the Cloud Knights is our immediate priority. We must head into the roots of the Ambrosial Arbor, expel the Stellaron spirits, and prevent the Arbor's resurrection.
As ever, the Master Diviner's omniscia provides for the fastest solution. However, sometimes speed is not everything. I have known the Stellaron's location for a while now. So why have I held back our forces?
General?
Well?
You're a scoundrel.
Pulling up the grass requires removing the roots. The Disciples of Sanctus Medicus have chosen to make their move now. Which means the Cloud Knights have the situation under control, and the traders have run out of patience. Now is the time to capture them all in one fell swoop.
You've been sitting on that this whole time? How will you justify the losses if something goes wrong, General?
Please, Lady Fu. I still have forces to deploy. We were in need of extra hands, and the Stellaron hunters were kind enough to bring us together with the Astral Express. How could I look the other way?
That massive tree has suddenly sprung to life.
It's my fault. I had higher expectations of the General. Please, we can't keep getting them to do everything for us. Since when did we run out of people on the Luofu? Why are you staring at me? Do I need to remind you, General, that the Ambrosial Arbor's access point is a closely guarded secret? Allowing Outworlders would be...
a violation of the rules and regulations. I would like to remind you, Lady Fu, that the Xianzhou comes before its rules and regulations, all the more so in times of crisis. As such, I am about to make a decision that runs counter to those rules and regulations. Oh, decisions plural. What a rare pleasure. Lady Fu, I hereby issue you with the military tally. The Cloud Knights will be under your control. You will act in concert with the other forces in the approach to the Ambrosial Arbor through the Alchemy Commission Delve.
Under...
You've been eager to discover for yourself what it is to be a general.
You've never given me the opportunity, and now suddenly... Understood.
As for our astral friends, I hereby formally welcome you all to join our operation to seal the Stellaron. Lady Fu will deploy the Cloud Knights, but I would like you to set off in advance. Take a shortcut through the Artisanship Commission and convene with Lady Fu further down the line. This is no order, honored guests. I'm merely stating what needs to be done, should you wish to.
You've never really seen us as outsiders, huh?
Miss Tingyun, I would like you to continue to serve as a guide for our astral friends.
Oh, of course, General. I am duty-bound.
The Alchemy Commission and Scale Gorge Waterscape delves are adjacent to the Ambrosial Arbor seal. I'd like you to... It is an ancient artifact that was planted on the Xianzhou Luofu by Yaoshe, the Eon of Abundance. It has the power to shape life and subdue death at will. The ancestors of the Luofu people consumed the fruits of the Ambrosial Arbor and gained endless lifespans.
Sounds...
Yes. It was also the bane of everything to come. As outsiders, you are unfamiliar with the history of the Xianzhou. I cannot blame you for asking a question like this. Let me tell you a story. Long ago, before the Xianzhou took to the skies, our ancestors lived on the surface of a planet. Like all of you, the Xianzhou people at that time were a mortal species with a lifespan of fewer than 100 years. There was a time when the ruling emperor could not bear his temporary existence, or the thought of his life's achievements being lost to another after his death. He became fixated on acquiring an elixir of immortality, and focused his power on constructing a fleet of 9 ships. These ships would voyage into deep space, where traces of gods were rumored to exist.
Did he... succeed?
Yes. And no. He succeeded because, after an arduous journey, the 9 ships eventually witnessed the manifestation of a god. Yaoshe's appearance provided for all manner of unfathomable celestial blessings. However, he failed because the fleet has been lost ever since, and has never been able to return to its home planet.
That doesn't sound so bad. The Xianzhou people went on a great adventure and got what they wanted in the end. Right?
Oh? Our ancestors once thought so too, but the miracle of longevity was nothing more than a vain dream. Take the Luofu, for example. Immortality seemed like a beautiful thing. But what followed was population expansion and diminishing resources. In the struggle for survival, the immortals lost their humanity and degenerated into mere beasts. After paying the price with blood and tears, the Luofu people finally understood that immortality was not a free blessing, but the beginning of a cruel ordeal. In the eras that followed, other beings that had likewise received Yaoshe's blessings repeatedly attacked the Xianzhou in an attempt to take the sacred artifact as their own. Countless atrocities were committed as a result. Many Xianzhou comrades who were lucky enough to survive the wars became stricken with Mara, a condition that immortals are susceptible to. Had it not been for the enlightenment and protection of the Rainbow Arbiter, the Xianzhou Alliance you see today would never have existed. At this point in the story, I assume you understand the disasters that the resurrection of the Ambrosial Arbor might bring about? Thousands of years have passed since the Rainbow Arbiter felled the Ambrosial Arbor. Most in the Xianzhou regard the arbor as nothing more than the stump of a dead tree. Only those familiar with our history and the ancient texts know of its origin. Our ancestors placed the stump in full view of the people precisely to make it seem unimportant. But in fact, they sealed it behind layers upon layers of Delph enchantment. Even if one travels toward the Ambrosial Arbor, one will never reach it. Someone brought a Stellaron into the Xianzhou and planted it among the roots of the Ambrosial Arbor. They wish to resurrect it and achieve their hidden goal through external aggression. In my opinion, the force that provided the Stellaron and the force that activated it have different objectives. I have asked Fu Shen to open a shortcut to the
A step forward bridges no distance hence. The Ambrosial Arbor was felled thousands of years ago. Now I had long anticipated.
Huh? She's not angry?
Pursuing Kafka is a waste of time and effort. From the time the Alchemy Commission is where the Xianzhou's medical to make matters worse, the General suspects their... A step forward bridges the Ambrosial Arbor. He really is a The star skiff is ready. I still have important tasks from the General to attend to. Go carefully, I'll...
Wait! Master Diviner, can you...
No need. My Omniscia has seen that your journey will be auspicious. Everything will proceed.
Are you sure?
Well said. Thank you for your...
So that's how it works.
Huh? Look at all the people gathered here. Not a good day for commuting on the LaFu. The Artisanship Commission Delve should have suspended operations after the Stellaron corrosion began. Why haven't these people taken star skiffs to safety?
Maybe the Artisanship Commission are just more dedicated to their work? The Divination Commission's diviners aren't exactly a hard act to follow.
At the end of the day, work is work. You need it to live. You know, March, adults forget what relaxation means after a certain age.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
Just speaking from the heart, that's all.
I think they call that complaining from the heart.
Are any of the paths in this world easy to tread? The Artisanship Commission is full of workshops, building state-of-the-art mechanisms, and craftsmen designing brand new concepts. Periodically stirring up trouble is part of their tradition. Entire buildings vanishing into thin air, puppet riots. You get the picture. It seems like the craftsmen are too afraid to go in. But they have nowhere to run to either. We should take care, benefactors.
Either way, we'll have to go in. Let's ask around first.
As expected, if I hadn't still...
Another locked gate. Time.
A warm reminder, benefactors, that the Artisanship Commission... Our law states that trespassing into the Artisanship Commission can result in a prison sentence of between 300 to 500 years. Serious violations may result in exile on a barren planet.
You gonna be this enthusiastic when it's jails?
I'm not trying to scare you. It seems more than a little reckless to charge in.
Master Gongshu. Oh, are you guys your clothes? Sorry this crisis came during your trip.
Yeah, you just need...
You mean the General invited you? There's been a serious incident.
You misunderstand, young sir.
Waiting around, that's... Please. If you waiting around, please. There's been some kind of botanical... I don't get it. The artisan... The worst thing is, Master Gongshu is the most when the incident happened, I need to wait here for the cloud...
Why did he run?
His research data, I just heard him shout, it's gone. We lost... Anyway, you said you're here to help us, right?
100%. The General sent us.
You don't have to believe us. The Astral Express doesn't shout about its achievements. We'll look for your master.
In that case, take this Jade Seal with you. If you find my master, please bring him out safe and sound. If anything happens to him...
Don't worry, young sir. Your master's safety is our...
None of us would be able to graduate this year.
Let's go. I think this conversation's run its course. Botanical disaster? It must be the Ambrosial Arbor. But what about the furnace his master mentioned?
The Stellaron facilitated the resurrection of the Ambrosial Arbor. The severity of the corrosion becomes worse as it grows.
Look, the roots are coming up through the ground. I'm afraid we've got some gardening work to do.
Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Nap time.
Reach the end of the story in your own way.
Upon commission grounds your feet do tread. Stay away. If you come
Hold on. Let us explain. We're not...
What excuses do you have? Surprise me. Just passing by, stumbled in, door wide open. Within commission grounds today was sown an evil spun by hands unseen, unknown. No longer. If the security mechanism could teach you a lesson, these robots will.
I'm on guard.
This battle. Enemy. Nap time.
Golden Cloud Toad, Illumination Dragonfish. Are you all right? Wake up! I raised you like my own flesh and blood. Did you really have to destroy my little friend?
You didn't want to listen to us.
Does the reputation of Gongshu Liang, the smelter extraordinaire, precede one?
This guy's pretty deluded for a master.
We're passing through on our way to the Alchemy Commission at the behest of General Jing Yuan and Diviner Fu. We'd like you to show us the way, Master Gongshu.
Really? The General sent you? Then this must be a mere misunderstanding. Don't worry about those, but there's not much I can do to help. The Artisanship Commission was suddenly taken over by some evil tree demon. It sees it's a dark and powerful entity, the robots. But then, I couldn't just run away. I'm sure General Jing Yuan must have believed wholeheartedly that you could... Means I know of may yet serve your fight. Pray... Look, this is one of the Artisanship Commission's prototypes. Good thing I got the students to take it out and make a few adjustments. Otherwise, they'd You all saw the Jade Gate on your way in, I assume? The shifting screen works in the same way. Indeed.
You sure about that?
Thank goodness you take the time to perfect these inventions.
Ordinarily, I could have used this beauty to teleport you thither, but... How observant. The Commission is more than a match for Mother Nature. This is the first thing that came to mind when it's a mechanical device codename. I invented this weapon for the Cloud Knights.
Let me guess. Limited range?
Yeah. Every light has its... And then... ignite. Very good. The master reveals the door, but the apprentice must walk through it. Whoa! What's happening? Is the... Seems like it worked. All right, there's no time to lose. Hurry through the shifting screen to the opposite side.
Ample supplies.
Look, the ambrosial arbor's roots.
They've encoiled the Artisanship Commission's most precious invention. Help me, dear young friends. Let's hack them away together. We can't let the root...
Careful. It's changing.
Whoa! What kind of monster is this?
Miraculous! It creates life at will! Such incredible power!
Not a scratch. Powerful enemy. Time to change change tactics. The time is now. Lend me your strength. Oh! Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack! Savor the vigor of them.
Defend the weak.
It's guarding the Ambrosial Arbor's roots and the furnace.
The time is now. Lend me your strength. We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them!
Lance ablaze! Flaming lance! Forward! I'm on guard.
Is that... Time for a shot. Nap time.
I'm on guard. Lance ablaze! Lance forward!
Time for a shot.
Nice teamwork.
Look at the deer's feet. So there are more roots coming up.
Lance at the ready.
Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
No matter how much damage we do, it just heals itself. Not fair.
We'll have to retreat for now. Follow me.
No wonder the Xianzhou is so scared of the abominations of abundance. They're unstoppable. Miss Ting-Yun, are the long-life species on the Xianzhou all like this?
I'm afraid this ebon deer was likely birthed by the Ambrosial Arbor as its guardian. It shares a close connection with the Arbor's roots. Most living creatures on the Xianzhou don't have abilities like this.
Huh. As long as it's there, we can't get any closer.
I wonder... The Ebon Deer seems to heal itself instantly, but perhaps it's drawing that power from elsewhere.
Yeah! It can't heal if we take out the source, right?
The monster only seems to be active in the vicinity of the Arbor. Let's look around and see if we can find anything.
So the General asked you to head to the Alchemy Commission, huh? The Artisanship Commission had no choice but to halt operations once the Tree Demon appeared.
It's a whole row of those gate robots. We saw one in the Divination Commission.
Gate robots? Those are Arumatons. The Artisanship Commission created them to...
Master, Are these creations truly able to protect the Artisanship Commission?
No! We haven't quite finished the paintwork on this badge. How can we deploy them if they're not looking their best?
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Nap time. We shall take back what we lost.
Young friends, I have a suggestion. Why don't we...
Any thoughts, Master Gongshu?
When the deer revives, the surrounding roots glow brightly.
Oh, great observation, Mr. Gongshu. It's amazing what you notice when you're not fighting.
I'm only an artisan, after all. My skills in clash of swords shall find no sake. Yet that which clasheth needeth hands to make. As Mr. Yang said, the deer monster is likely drawing power from somewhere in order to replenish itself. I'm certain that when the arbor glows, we are witnessing that very process. Precisely. You remember how we untangled the shifting screen with fire?
You're right. Those roots never grew back.
Not only that, its reaction suggested we'd hurt it. Perhaps that's our starting point.
Take hold of your weapons, young comrades. Let's raze these roots to the ground! See? My theory was correct! Keep going!
Lend me your strength. That's better. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Lance, forward!
I'm okay. To guard and defend. Crush them. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Lend me your strength. Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Troublesome. Nap time. To guard and defend. Crush them. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
Lance forward!
We shall take back what we lost. Ample supplies. Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Now time. Troubles. To guard and defend. Crush them. Troubles. Lend me your strength. Nap time. Lend me your strength. Ample supplies. Lend me your strength. Crush them! Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack! We shall take back what we lost. Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Nap time.
Lance forward!
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. That's better. Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Nap time. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Lance forward!
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Nap time. Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Nap time. Troublesome. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Lance forward!
Ample supplies.
Quick! There's more roots over here.
Give me a moment.
I guess we're...
I suspect the ambrosial orb. Let's hurry. Before.
So, the next.
Please.
To guard and defend. Crush them. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Nap time. We shall take back what we lost. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. I'm okay. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Nap time. Ample supplies.
Show your courage.
Will of preservation.
Look! The roots coiled around the creation furnace! They've... Excellent!
Not a scratch. Lance ablaze. Flaming lance. Forward!
Powerful enemy. Time to change tactics. The time is now. Lend me your strength.
Enemy targets detected. This...
All better now? Your assistance is
Lance at the
timely.
ready.
You'll pay for this. The time is now. Lend me your strength. Time for a shot. You're in bad shape.
Commencing support. Inputting commands. Whoa.
Defend the weak.
Good. Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack.
Evildoer. Oh!
Lance ablaze. Flaming lance. Forward!
Savor the vigor of it.
Fracture!
This battle is unavoidable. The time is now. Lend me your strength. We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them!
Enemy targets detected. This happened.
Troublesome. Naughty children, don't listen. Nap time. You'll pay for this. The time is now. Lend me your strength.
Commencing support. Inputting commands. Whoa. Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack.
That'll take more than medicine.
Nice teamwork.
Enemy targets detected.
Oh! I'm on guard. Indestructible. Lance ablaze. Flaming lance. Forward!
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend.
Crush them!
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
This battle is unavoidable. That's better. Your
Enemy
assistance is
targets
timely.
detected.
Not a scratch.
Lend me your strength.
I'm on guard. Lance, forward!
Naughty child. Nap time. Huh? Peaches? I am kinda hungry.
March.
I'm just saying. It'll be a shame if they get smashed to pieces. Lend me your strength. We've entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them! Time for a shot.
Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Lance at the ready.
This battle is unavoidable. Lend me your strength. Nap time.
Commencing support.
Lance, forward! I'm on guard.
Lend me your strength. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Lance at the ready.
You'll pay for this. Lend me your strength. We've entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them! Ready for another? Naughty child. Nap time.
Okay. Lance ablaze. Lance, forward!
This battle is unavoidable. Lend me your strength. Time for a shot. Just a little something. Think nothing of it. Resistance is timely.
Enemy targets detected.
It's time.
Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Naughty child. Nap time.
You'll pay for this. Lend me your strength. We've entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them! Time for a shot.
I'm on guard. Ha! Lance ablaze! Lance forward!
It's getting weak. Quick, finish it off.
This battle is Naughty child, nap time.
General Jing Yuan said the Ambrosial Arbor was an unfathomable celestial blessing. At first glance, that deer could have been an ordinary life form, but the ability to heal such grave wounds in an instant... I think I finally understand why the Xianzhou decided to follow the hunt in eradicating the abundance. If immortal creations were left to spread their branches and roots throughout the universe, entire ecosystems would collapse. No wonder the people of the Xianzhou wander the universe, never settling on a planet.
You are a man of vision, Mr. Yang. It's a shame our ancestors, the Elixir Seekers, were unable to see that hidden curse 8,000 years ago. Perhaps some of them did reject the Plague Author's gift. But how could an entire civilization resist the temptation of immortality? Ironic, isn't it? The wise are buried, while the fools remain immortal. The Xianzhou regrets being led astray by the abundance. That's why they have decided to embark on the path of the hunt. Maybe it's not too late for redemption. Thank you for your help. I realize you must continue on to the Alchemy Commission, to the Ambrosial Arbor. After witnessing what happened here, I know there will only be more danger ahead. Go, friends, and stay vigilant. I wish you...
Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Nap time. We shall take back what we lost. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
Lance forward!
Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Nap time. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Ample supplies. Lend me your strength. I'm okay. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Just a little something. Think nothing of it. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. design is exquisite. Ample supplies. Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
Lance forward!
Nap time. We shall take back what we lost. Show your courage. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Nap time. Just a little something. Think nothing of it. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. I'm okay. Lend me your strength. Troublesome.
Lance forward!
That's better. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. To guard and defend. Crush them. Troublesome. I'm okay. Nap time.
Lance forward!
Just a little something. Think nothing of it. I'm okay. I'm okay. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
Nap time. Troublesome. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Lance, forward!
Lend me your strength.
Ample supplies.
Lend me your strength.
Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
A delicate operation.
You'll pay for this. To guard and defend. Crush them.
Nap time.
Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
Lance, forward!
A delicate operation.
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
Nap time. Lend me your strength. Come on. Lend me your strength.
Lance forward!
Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
Troublesome.
To guard and defend. Crush them.
Nap time.
Lend me your strength. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
Nap time.
Lance forward!
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
A delicate operation.